Hi, I'm Ange. I go to the Wave here in Ocean Grove. I work in a school in Geelong. I do mental health and wellbeing and inclusion work. I've got two kids that go to church. I love time at the beach, hanging out with family and celebrating those little moments as the kids grow up. Growing up, I lived on an army base with my family. We went to church every week until I was about 7, I think. I loved Sunday school, enjoyed all the stories and giving to the needy. Started to learn about how to live like Jesus. And then all of a sudden we just stopped going to church for different reasons. And since then I knew there was something out there. I knew there was a God. And I used to go looking into different sort of religions and faiths and trying to find what I needed. A few years ago, my sister passed away and that reconnected me back into faith. She was a strong Christian believer and I was pulled towards what she was believing in before she passed away. And then when she passed, it became a source of strength for me and a bit of direction as to how to get through those really tricky times. I've been in the presence of Jesus at a young age and then pulled away and then reconnected later on, like 20 or 30 years down the track. A barrier to faith was probably just the world and the busyness, social media, all the distractions around me. I always thought I could fulfill that sort of hole in my heart with things that were just very short term and artificial. And it wasn't until I hit rock bottom that I needed something more than that and something to really base myself in and something to help me that was more than just something that was on a shelf or in a magazine or something like that. Turned to faith when I just had a feeling that I needed to go to church and people around me that I knew went to the Wave. So I knew I had a couple of people that came here. And because my sister was Baptist, it's always pointing towards coming here. So I just walked through the door and I'd come by myself every week when there wasn't footy or sports on that I had to manage or coach. And I'd be here every week. And yeah, so over the months, my kids started to join me. And now they come every week with me as now. I found out through the church. I saw it and thought, I want to know more. I knew the Bible. I didn't know it, but I knew of it and I'd bought one. So I was keen to learn how to read it properly and how to connect it with my daily life. I didn't really understand that connection. And then going to Alpha and hearing testimonies from other people and their journey and how the Bible and God's word has helped them in their life and partnered with them through their choices and how they've relied on it. I found that really inspirational and it made me want to read the Bible more. And I never knew whether you could highlight the Bible right in the Bible. Like I was so new to it that I didn't want to do it wrong. And that was my old personality, trying to do things the right way. But now I just know it's a part of me and it doesn't matter what I do with it. It's how I want to use it and how it can help me through daily life. So it's been a big transitional phase, I guess, from Alpha to where I am now that really shifted that and can help me connect with it more. And hearing how other people connect with it was really powerful. Night one, there was a lot of people there, probably about 30 people, just listening to what it was about. And I started connecting with things like, when do you spend time with God and things like that? It made me think of all the times I do stop and just chat with God without realizing I'm praying or having that connection. So it was that kind of, I knew that was the place for me because those kind of conversations started coming up and people just sharing how they do connect with God. And I realized I do connect with him quite a bit already. So it gave me that confidence that I'm on the right track and I should be in that space and to talk about it more and learn more with others that are on that journey as well. I guess it's the accumulation of different things. It wasn't like a big moment for me. I think it was as I started to read the Bible more and call on him for help when I needed to make a choice or a decision that was really important. And I started getting messages and that hope that there was always an option beyond what I could control. I started losing control of what I was doing in a sense because I trusted that everything was happening for a reason. But I still realised that I still have to take steps to make things happen, but those steps were driven by those conversations I was having with God. So it was like a build-up. Every time I did something and I got an answer and it worked, or it didn't work, but then later on I saw why it went that way, it made me trust it more. So as I've trusted it more and more, I now trust that I can let everything go. It's been a big, because I'm type A personality previously, so I had to control everything. And now it's just so peaceful just saying, I know it's really hard, but I trust that this is all happening for a reason. We've just got to work through it and listen to what we need to do. But I always have hope that things will work out. And I guess it's just been a build-up of learning how to trust, like in trusting people, you don't just trust them automatically. It's like similar for me, like it took a while. And then once I've lived through that, that's the way I want to live. And I have that feeling I can trust it 100%. I would say that everyone gets something different out of Alpha. There's no set criteria of what you need to have going on to make it work for you. The first time I went, I was very new to the Bible, new to everything. So it was really great to start to learn about the history and all the factual side of things, and then learning how to read the Bible, what order people recommend, hearing what people got out of which order they read it in, and things like that was really interesting. And I'm going back to Alpha again this year, and I'm going to have a whole different perspective on things, and you never know it all. So I think there's always something you can take away. Like when you read a book for the second time, you pick up something different each time. So yeah, I'd like to probably talk about how it's a safe space. I found that during the week, I don't have many opportunities to speak about Jesus and God, and Alpha's a really beautiful place where you can talk about things that you probably wouldn't talk about with your work colleagues or friends that don't have that similar belief or heading in the same direction. So it's a really nice, I just really look forward to my Wednesday nights and say, I can talk about God tonight. I can't wait. Like you let it all out, and it feels so good, and it energizes you for the week ahead. Having it weekly, it's a real big pump up halfway through the week. And I always walked out feeling fulfilled with something new I learned about somebody, or connecting with someone on a different level, or just being there for others. It's a real beautiful connection you build with the table that you work with, and the questions that you answer. Everyone answers them differently because they're all on different journeys, but you can be there to support each other and pray for each other if you want to. And I found that really powerful, and a really great support when you're going through things that you might want to share on the night. You don't have to. No one has to speak. So it's if you want to, but the more I spent with people at the table each week, the more I opened up, and I trusted them 100% with what I was sharing. It was just a really nice space and safe space to do that. Yeah, I chose to get baptized because I hadn't publicly declared that I was living my life with Jesus, and I felt like I was, but I didn't feel complete. So I think that made me feel like I woke up leading up to the baptism like it was Christmas morning the next morning, couldn't wait. And then every day since, I feel, whenever I feel a bit flat, I'm like, but I got baptized, it's all good. It just brings a smile to my face, and internally every time I think about it, because he knows now that I want that, and I'm all in. Faith. I think it's just wholeness and belonging and joy, and it'll never run out. And it's there no matter what. Pretty much that. I'll probably change that in a year's time. It changes every time you learn new things about it, but I think it's something you can go to that's just endless support, love, and non-judgmental. It's just beautiful.